Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm trying to say like it's word, shirts and all
Okay, we'll make a start, and it's just gone 6. You don't want to be on the road of the evening. It's raining, no matter. Okay, what I'll do first of all here is run the table, because obviously the 2 county councils will know who some of us are, and obviously you don't know who Walsall or here, some of you probably won't. So my name's Ray Morgan, I'm chairman of the town council.
Emma Bennett, Clark.
Les Love, I work for Emma.
Carl Marsh.
Tim Holder, Jeremy Chalmers, Sinford East.
Roger Scarry, Sinford West.
Mark Turner, Sinford West.
Roslyn Blues in the west. Emma Walker, Central East.
John Martin, Sinford East, and District Councillor for Sinford East.
Darren Flower, Sinford West.
Thanks for that. Obviously I know Ray, I haven't met years, but welcome. We're 2 county councillors for our area. Ray covers West Region Sinford. Piers covers obviously the Stevens area from this patch. So welcome both. And I cover Sinford West, along with others. Thanks for that. So at least you give you an idea of who's people are out there. Item number 1 is to receive apologies for absence. We got apologies from Lynn Sterry, and we got apologies from Chris Brown and Karen Marshall. So, any other apologies or other apologies?
Not heard from Jacob.
Or from Jacob, or we
I
experience?
think he sent these apologies. I
Has
don't
he?
know. I know the planning is still going on.
Oh,
Oh, yes. Yes, please can you take his apologies?
okay, thank you for that. Okay, item number 2 is declarations of interest. And as to receive any declarations of interest in any matter discussed at the meeting, members and officers are requested to identify the nature of such interest. So,
I would like to declare an interest in anything to do with FIFA.
okay. Karen,
Anything to do with Forest Representative.
Forest Over Centre. Anyone else? Okay, thanks for that. Thank you. Item 3 is public participation session. We only have 15 minutes for that. Each member of the public has 3 minutes to speak, but there's nobody here, so either so they'd be all selling their songs in their garden, or they'd be all happy. Whichever the case may be. So item number 4 then is chairman's urgent business. I don't really have any urgent business, so we'll skip on with that one. Item 5 is to confirm the minutes of the meeting on the 13th of May.
I move, Mr.
It's
Chairman.
been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please show. Okay, Jimmy signs on as true for record. So item 6 is matters arising from the minutes for information only. Anybody want to raise anything, or is it, no, everyone happy? I don't see anybody indicating. Okay. Item number 7 is a police update. You've all received it in your folders. And I guess there's no police coming here today, but we have got their report. And there is some movement upwards in Sinford West. It's not so bad in the east, but I see violence against the person. One other have gone up 4 from last year, so not good. Keep going.
Chair, just to say, I went to a community safety partnership meeting, and the police have been doing extra activities in Sinford West. They've had I can't think what the word is called, when they have a certain programme to target certain individuals,
Yeah.
particularly doing some work with young people. I think they've liaised with the school, the fire brigade, and hence we've got further agenda items linking in very closely with Skill Zone.
Yeah.
So it was very positive. The whole idea was diversion, to try and divert.
I know they do a lot of work behind the scenes, which we obviously saw when we did the community partnership. Darren?
I was at a hate crime meeting today over at Culford, and I was talking to the sergeant after because there'd been a rise at the weekend in some antisocial behaviour around the town. A a small group of quite young children. And I know from last week when I was at my youth group that FAF have been tasked with interacting with these children to find out what they want. Because if they don't have an interest in skate park or the music works, we want to find out what they are interested in. Apparently a couple of them are interested in fishing. They're going to take some of them down to the boxing club down at Litney. I see that's quite positive that they've been tasked to do that.
Yeah, very much, very good. Okay, thanks for that. Anyone else? Well, like I said, in the east there was a movement upwards a little bit on drugs, so I guess, I don't know what it is, but 2 of these now. But the report's in your folders for you to see. Anybody else want to say anything about the report from the police? It's just to keep an eye on it, that's all. Oh, sorry, Ray?
Will we be able to get that as well, or was that coming through? Where does the report go to? Is it possible that we can get that?
They sent it to us.
Yeah, they sent it to us, but we can share it.
Okay.
Yeah, Helen can share it with you too, yeah. It's useful for you to know, yeah.
Yeah, please.
There's not big movements, but there is some movements in violence against the person in the West at 4. But I think the other movements, and there was obviously the usual Oaks calls and all that, it was moved a bit. Do I?
And just for information, violence against a person includes domestic abuse,
Yeah.
and percentage-wise in the Forest of Dean, considering the population, we have the highest incidence in the county. So it is very much a targeted area for police, other services and the district council.
Good to hear that. Okay, so we're not doing anything else. 8B on that was to discuss antisocial behaviour and any additional issues. Was that it?
Yeah, there's just a core group of children and they throw stuff at people's windows and set it fire to bins and broke into the factory shop to find the emergency exit at the weekend. And the police were called and have taken some footage from Nicky at the pub, which was coming quite handy. We witnessed it from our window because it's straight opposite, so we on into it. But it's a core group, small group of kids. I think they've been, some of them have been excluded from school, and therefore they're running around town bored. And but it is good to know that it's only a very small handful of kids. It's about 4 or 5 of them, the core group that are doing it. So,
well, we certainly heard of this throwing stones at people's windows. It's happening in Dean, right over your area. I think over in Ollie Dean one.
Yeah, he has been at Ollie.
Yeah.
And then there was some in Barleycorn Square.
Eggs is the other thing I've been throwing.
So as you said, there was my son caught a few of them away when showed that, and they were throwing stones at the next door neighbour's window.
Right.
I think until such times that these young lads can be punished in some shape or form, like, years ago they would have been took into Gloucester and put this off for a couple of hours and tell them this is where you're going to end up if you don't pull this off together. I think they've got to be frightened into being, making their behaviour better, So until something like that can be done, I don't think we can see an end to it.
Well, I think they need to understand there's consequences to this stuff, but it needs to be a bit of carrot and stick. So if there's stuff that they want to do that's not being provided, then if we can do that, if we know about it, then
In our day, you had to stick.
Alright, carry for 3 weeks, and out in the year. Or punch you,
Stick in the dark.
punch across the room, usually. The old man was with bad intentions.
Great.
Right, sorry, Carl.
I think a lot of the forces now are trying to deal with things as community resolutions.
Yeah.
So when they get the youngsters, it's all about fines, it's all about apologies, that sort of thing. So it's paying for them paying for the damage.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, so it should be, because if you had your milk stolen off the doorstep, why should you then go and have to spend another £3 theoretically to go and replace your milk?
I sort of think if they can afford to buy eggs to throw at windows, then
Absolutely. Never
Depends on the eggs.
Never understood the eggs.
Right, item number 8 then, we move on then, is receive an update from our estates manager, Les, on the works and notes, and agree any associated actions. The first one is A, Wesley, Les.
Thank you, Chair. Gentlemen, I'm not sure if you are aware of the projects that we're undertaking in our area at the moment, but we are restoring, as part of the Levelling Up Fund project, 3 main buildings. So there's Riola House, which is the building next door to us, the Wesley, next one again, and also the former HSBC Bank in Market Street. So those buildings are being restored and being brought back into community use. So this evening is just going to be a quick update as to what we've done. We have achieved grants in order to restore the buildings, so I'll also be giving a brief update on expenditure as well. So the first one, thank you Chair, is the Wesley ramp to the stage area is complete. So I know Darren's been to have...
I've tried that.
Did you? Yes. Have your resting areas. So that is complete. We're just waiting for the Forestry and District Council to come and have a look, just to give final approval, but we're not anticipating any issues there. Today, National Grid attended to up the power going into the Wesley. We have single phase in there at the moment. We are expecting 3 phase to go in. EDF should also have attended at the same time, but unfortunately they sent the wrong engineer. They sent a single phase engineer and not a 3 phase engineer. We have received a written apology and they will be acting accordingly to put this right as quickly as possible, and we will be seeking compensation for their error and our time and our money. The kitchen is going in on the 16th of June and the new thermal heating is going in on the 15th of July. We are going to be looking at approving contractors to install secondary glazing into the building as well. But what I need to do is just to understand a little bit more about the costings we have received. They range from £27,406.01 to £116,286.51. There is a huge disparity between the lowest cost and the highest cost, and I do need to understand the reasons why. 2 companies have not attended site, so I think that answers a few queries there, but I will be looking at the other quotes just to see how best to proceed, and I probably will need to take a little bit more advice for that as well. So that's the Wesley.
That's the Wesley. Item B then is 6 Market Street, former HSBC Bank.
Thank you. It's 6 Market Street. We are waiting for further news of the clock. It is a painful process, but we are getting closer. If I may, Chair, I'll then go on to Riola House as well. We are going to be getting our car park relined. We are then going to be installing our fire doors to comply with the latest building regulations. If I may move on. Thank you. Item D, other properties, Albis. Now, Albis stands for the old Dockham Road Surgery. We own that building. It has undergone a series of renovations as well. I would encourage anybody to go and have a look at that building. It has now received £240,000 worth of investment contributed by the NHS. Do please go and have a look at it. I think you'll see a vast improvement to our building. Now, the remaining money from our grants out of the £180,000 that we achieved from Arts Council of England, we have remaining £85,166.58, And from our Levelling Up Fund, we have remaining £65,811.28. I like the number 8, obviously. But our projects will be coming to an end, especially Levelling Up, in the not too distant future, and our Arts Council funding must be used by the end of December 2025, which will happen.
Super.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments for that? Is there any?
Very big thank you.
Absolutely, big thank you, yeah. Is there anything we need to agree there at all, or?
No, it will be later to deal with steam mills, and what I'd like to do is just approach that in the agenda.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that, thank you. Right, we'll move on, and the next one is item number 9, which is correspondence. So Emma, the first one is the Forest Green District Codes and Market Zones.
So Catherine Lyons is the Forest Green District Councillor Officer who was appointed following who attended the meeting.
I think the interviews as well, yeah.
So she's due to start here on the 14th to the 18th of July. So we need to work out a work programme for her and areas of priority for the town. So I'm not sure if anybody wants to input into that process.
Well, I'm going to take her around and introduce her to a lot of the businesses in the triangle, on the high street. So she just gets a feel of what, I've talked to a lot of them about the fact that she will be starting on the 1st of July, and they're interested and eager to meet her and see what's going to happen. Yes, got to work out what we're going to work with her too.
Yeah.
So, and that should be talking to shopkeepers, landlords as well, and it's about making the town look a bit better and trying to get some footfall into town. I think she's also going to be looking at getting the markets in the 4 towns up and running again.
Yeah.
So that's another positive. That brings, things like the Christmas market again would be nice, and some more regular ones during the year.
Yeah. Anyone else? Mark?
Can we just get a meeting with her as soon as possible? Yeah, maybe one of the 10.
That week, excuse me, that week is the events committee meeting, and I think suggested that she should attend that meeting.
We've just received our market license, haven't we? And we can have a market tomorrow. So we need to get on that straight away.
Yeah, that's a key issue, that isn't it?
Yeah, whether or not, now we've got the license, I'll start advertising it.
Yeah.
Whether she's ill or not. We were doing it before, now we've got the market license again. We got the stalls, we can just get on with it.
Joy?
I think the idea was, rather than have conflict and markets happening in, say, 2 of the towns on the same day, it was about working to make sure that each town has a market, so there's not competitive, it's about support. I think that was the idea of liaising, not for her to organise, but it was to make sure that
traditionally, for example, we have our market on Friday, and that's always where we only had a little market a few years ago when on Friday worked.
Yeah.
Having a market on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, which somebody then ends up with, and not good because they're only about.
Yeah.
So if they do happen on the same day as other towns, I'm going to go to the Cinema market, I'm not going to go to the New Intro Cultural market. People from the Cinema are going to go to the Cinema market.
That's right. It's all the, because his footfall is a big issue, as we said, with the market could out that. And obviously empty shops in other where they can get maybe business in the town.
Right.
Sorry, Jerry?
Yeah, if it's possible to actually have markets on the Saturday, then we could actually have Cinderford at the beginning of the month, then the 2nd Saturday we could have Colford, 3rd Saturday we could have Dindy, 4th Saturday we could have Newington or something.
Saturdays are the worst day. So I've done the markets in the town. The Saturday's the quietest day in the town. It's a few people around in the morning go to their meat and veg, and in the afternoon it just drops off to nothing. So that's what
Saturdays is a dead loss for
it's Saturdays. People go to after all over the place.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Well, obviously, so we will meet up with this person and obviously our priorities, like Mark said, is a market for football, because the football needs to be addressed, and empty premises as much as we can. And hopefully there will be an office to do something with that.
You're going to lead on the meeting.
Yes, and you know, I've got a few ideas here, perhaps you could, whether she could get some grant money for some, you know, some planters or shop frontage, or, you know, so we
Can Emma just arrange a meeting with her first, no agenda, just to say hello and just a straightforward, without going into grants and that.
Yeah, that's right,
Just a
She's here for a
meeting.
She's going to be in Cinderford for the whole week. You know, she's spending the first 4 weeks will be a week in each town.
We'll get her up here, meeting with the bills, so that we do have Mark. Okay, item B then is to receive details and approve the skills zone event on the 25th of July at Miners Welfare.
So Forest Dean District Council sent a detailed programme which is in your pack. To be held at Miners Welfare playing field, and it'll be police and the fire brigade there as well. We're focusing on anti-social behaviour.
I propose we go for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Both second and all those in favour, please show. That's carried around, thank you. If you haven't been to the skills zone in Gloucester, please go, because it's very good, and it's an eye-opener. And all children should go, don't you? C was to receive the Covent Area Partnerships request to reconsider taking part in Heritage Open Days Festival.
Right job in this. We did the Heritage Open Days thing years before any other council. We did it ourselves, we had our own Cinderford History Day, and then we sort of, when the Heritage Open Days thing arrived, we tagged onto it. Because they said, well, we're doing it, do you want to be part of it? Which is fine. But now they want paying for it. But I've been onto the Heritage Open Days and registered Cinderford Council as a organiser itself, and as a cost nothing. The only drawback is the Covent Partnership, they operate the leaflets, so we won't get the leaflets. So I've registered with Heritage Open Days, and we can set our own event up and publicise it ourselves, what we used to, it won't cost anything. Don't get me wrong, I am a bit, maybe we should ask if we can contribute a little bit towards going to the leaflets to be part of it, but do people read leaflets?
Like you were beginning to wonder, because we see the trucks so many away, they didn't get distributed very often, and they was left to just people to do what they want with them, and think, well, is it just a waste of money? If you can advertise it, and we could do that.
We've done it for 10 years.
We did it before them, so, you know, this, I don't know, it will be great for you people. Anyone else? Did Jim?
Yeah, I think Mark's absolutely right. We've done it for years, but little or no help from Comfort. All they did supply us with was a couple of posters. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah.
And I honestly think we do better on our own, and we should continue to do so. It's part of the National Heritage Day, so, you know, more power to our elbow, I think. Carry on as we're doing.
So, Joy?
It's good if we do publicise it, because the whole idea is people will be coming in to the Forest of Dean to visit various rivers. So to make sure that they know that it's happening here, because that's it's not just Covent, it's heritage.
That's right, Wait, sure.
We put it on our website, we put it on our Facebook. It's about getting it publicised, really, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I like Graham said, the leaflets, we always end up with a handful of them, all of them. People do come in though, clutching the leaflet and ticking off everything else in it. So it's a bit of a, when it was a small contribution to cover being in the leaflets, we're taking the work off them, we're taking the load off by organising everything else by ourselves, and contributing a small amount just to go in the leaflets.
I agree with that.
So should we, what do people think about offering talking to them about a small amount just to help with the leaflets then?
So we come to it, we could put a banner up, we could get a banner done and put it in the triangle ourselves.
Yeah.
We're always expected to do it, They just organised the banner, but we could do that if we
We
wanted.
probably have to turnouts anyway,
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, do it.
Can I know how much are they expecting or asking for the
I
leaflet?
don't know.
We don't know.
Because Janet was sending the email that she raised 2,500 towards the result, but she's not taking part.
She's not.
very well now, is she? So I'm guessing she's looking for someone to take over and do things, but like Mark said, we've always done our own. And as long as we get into
Just
that,
to make sure that.
but if you, Mark, if you make that a proposition, I think it's a sensible way forward to make a small contribution to the leaflet, so we can get our name in there, but we do all the rest ourselves.
Yeah, we're not.
You second, who was that?
Alison wanted to.
Oh, sorry, no, I was just going to say, because obviously at the moment there's all the signs about for obviously they're having something obviously the Magna. So literally they've just got, if we can do some signs, that's the I don't know if you're allowed to sort of put it wherever they put them, but as I said, like they've got it by the traffic lights. I mean, I've not noticed that anywhere except for, and then I went and Googled it, but if we just put a few signs about it, a lot of it's social media. So I think, to me, a lot of people don't.
We've done it for 2 or 3 years before Heritage Open Day started.
Yeah.
And we had busy all day. when we
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Just by advertising on Facebook, on the website.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I'm biased to it, so I've been doing it for 10 years, 11 years.
So, do you want to make that a proposition, or do you want to put a small?
If I propose then, that we do it ourselves, but we offer, we require what a small amount would be just to help.
Put our name in the leaflet.
In leaflet, yeah.
I'll second it.
You'll second that. All those in favour, please show. All those against? Abstentions?
How much is a small donation to be?
Well, we don't know. All it needs is to be in that leaflet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So everything, I don't know.
How many leaflets are you talking about having printed then?
Well, I mean, it's entirely up to you, really. I mean, Mark made the proposition, we seconded it. We voted for it, so I guess that's the way we go. Well, if it's in the language,
We'll inquire and then we can circulate it.
yeah, make sure you all know. If you've got any comments to make comments back to them. If you're not happy with it, then we'll not go ahead with it. Because it shouldn't cost that much, Mark, should it? Had a name to already leaflet being printed. That might be wishful thinking, anyway. So everyone happy to go that way?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Should we go back to the police line?
Yeah, we'll pause here and go back to the police. We did discuss your report.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll go back to yourself.
Yeah, I'm likely to get called any minute as well now. It's been one of those evenings so far. Yeah, so I think report-wise, the incidents compared from this year to last year was pretty much on par. There's been a little bit of a rise in antisocial behaviour, sort of lower end of the high street, specifically around Lidl's. We've been working on that over the last week. Hopefully that will sort of stem down now with the prevention work that we've done around that. Yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything much.
Yeah, it was violence against a person, was it? 4? Was it 4, was it?
Yeah, it can, with the incidents, so they could be reported as one thing and then logged as that. And it might be the case we go out and it's not actually as reported. So it might say that there's a rise without looking into each and every individual incident within detail. I couldn't confirm if that was actually the case that there have been 4 more incidents this year than last year. For the same amount of.
If there was a dramatic rise, I guess you certainly know what it would be.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Anyone else want to ask any comments, questions? Feel free.
Well, just seems a useless stat if it needs to be checked.
Pardon?
Seems a useless stat if it needs to be back checked to make sure it's relevant to the previous stat.
Yeah, but it's more the case of perception as well. So if someone rings and they're saying this is happening, the perception is that we'd log it as that. We do have a closing status as well, so you can close the incident as another one. So it might be the case, it has been before, but it's whether those that are closing those incidents are checking the incident log to say, actually, this was a violence against a person, we're going to close it as that, or have updated it if it wasn't as first reported. So so it all depends really on who's logging what. So yeah.
So, I don't know where Steenhouse falls, whether it's east or west.
No.
Exactly, but the police go to a report.
But it falls in west.
Right, okay. So I want to ask some questions about the antisocial behaviour that is a constant, especially on weekends. I live at one end of Steenhouse and you can hear the music on the other end.
Okay.
And that is a constant. I do know that residents have reported it because they've told me.
Okay.
I'm quite, well, I go to bed, I hear I'm dead to the world.
Yeah.
But my neighbours are constantly hearing parties in the street.
Yeah.
Is in the street. They don't care. They've got work vehicles out in the road, parked on the road, on ramps. So they're working on cars in the streets. A lot of them are taxed.
Yeah.
Roadworthy. People are just getting fed up and reporting.
Yeah, it's again, so noise goes through to environmental health. So we wouldn't necessarily, if a noise report comes through to us, we wouldn't necessarily log that as a police incident because it.
I understand that, but the problem is when the environmental aren't doing anything either. People are just thinking, what is the point?
Yeah.
Because if our environmental aren't listening and it's not a police issue, then where do they go? And that's why we've had people up here before now having a go at us as a council saying, you need to sort it out. Well, we can't sort it out.
No.
And I'm not going to go and put myself in front of these people and try and sort it out myself.
No. So if there is a line, I can have a look at incidents that have been reported through to the police with emails. I can think of probably a few this year. And I can speak to environmental health. We do work with other agencies to try and resolve issues. We just need those statistics and those logs behind it to be able to do.
But it was part of a big ASB
case review.
Yeah, absolutely. And
It disappeared, didn't it?
disappeared.
Yeah,
It just get left. There's no communication. The communication stopped. There were a few of us that attended both meetings.
No reply to emails.
No replies.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So just it just.
And the rubbish is back in the street. You know, I take great pride in emails.
Yeah.
And when you've got green bins full of normal rubbish, and then there's toys and chairs and all the rest of it thrown on the side, but because it's not on the path, it's on sort of a raised bit that is part of the property.
Okay.
We can't have it removed.
Okay. Leave that with me because I think I went off just after the first
Yeah.
So I was off all of last year pretty
We've
much.
had two meetings, that's
Two
it.
meetings, okay. Leave that with me and I'll chase that up. So obviously I've just come back this year, so these people keeps.
Got a delivery to catch some of those cars.
I mean, we do go, we respond, if people report cars without tax, there are tickets that can be issued,
it's not just
seize
that,
vehicles
it's
and all.
the way they put the foot to the floor on wheel spin, no seat belts. I mean, I would stand there with the camera out and just record the lot of them.
It's still not going back you know.
Yeah. And if there's any form of antisocial behaviour in driving, if you capture that on footage, we can come round
there all day.
Yeah, we can come round. So we just take a statement and then we can issue what's called a section 50 warning. And then if that again happens with that vehicle or that person, we can identify them. Within a year, we can seize the vehicle. But people care when we seize their vehicles or issue tickets because it hits them in the pocket. So that's ultimately what our powers are for and that we can do. We just need to know about it. And if it is a continuous thing, keep reporting it. But the more reports we have, the bigger picture we can build and say, okay, there is, like with the ASB case review, there's a long-standing issue here, and we can work with other agencies, like environmental and the council.
Their way of getting around these non-tax vehicles is to remove some wheels and put them on ramps. but they're on the highway.
Did you say that they were working on vehicles in the street?
In the street, yeah.
Perhaps we ought to get out and put it on the agenda for the next highways meeting, and maybe Piers will come along and speak to Andrew Middleton and Steve. Because I know they went there before highways, but they were cooking in the street, remember?
They still do it.
They're working on vehicles in Ireland.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
That the land we have in the back,
They don't care.
They used to be doing it in the car park. They were a car park. They had like 3 vehicles there. They put a ticket on their own, but the other 3 they were working on, they wouldn't put tickets on. You'd spend 6 tickets over a week on 3 vehicles, and it's only then that the district council suddenly wondered why they were getting a load of non-payment tickets.
I do know of residents that have told people not to buy a car off them because they're filling it with foam. So, yeah, be very, very careful. Most of the cars are illegal.
Well, we can tackle it through them, measures with the police, and then obviously through highways as well. See what we can get done with it. So, is there anything else with the police?
I was just making sure I'm making a note for myself to do that and follow that.
Anybody got anything else you want to raise?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Antisocial driving around the roundabout in Valley Road.
Okay.
Do donuts and whatever.
Again, yeah, so we need to have the footage, the proof, to be able to issue warning notices. So whether that's by video or on camera, there's a very short window that we need it reporting and issuing those warning notices as well. So if you capture anything and you're willing to give a statement to say, I feel on this date and details of the vehicle and things, we can look at doing a little bit of enforcement and things around that. The other way, you could look at speaking to highways about possibly putting some speed bumps or some calming measures down if it's a regular thing.
You wonder where you want to cost me.
Yeah, but it's difficult because I think you can put speed bumps in pretty much everywhere on a straight bit of road. So.
You're popping and banging.
Yeah.
You put stuff in there and make them pop and bang, and then blow the exhaust off like end of it. But anyway, anyone else? Thank you very much for that then, and we'll see what we can do with some of the incidents that have been asked about. We'll tackle it through your song and highway, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, like emails, I'm happy just to ping emails through to me privately, even not even necessarily reported to someone, but it's a non-ongoing thing. I am one of the local community officers, so it's within my interest to try and tackle it. So.
Yeah, it's a situation that happens across the country. You've seen on telly, kind of, and you know.
Your email address and secretary.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all I'm able to share.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to correspondence with the Commission. And item D is to receive from Gloucester County Council the proposal of a 50-mile speed limit on the B4226 Speech House Road. And it's considered from Bridge to Broadwell Bridge. So what's obviously guess they're looking for our support.
Yeah, I believe we support it.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Moving and seconded.
For many years.
All those in favour, please show.
Can I
Yes.
have a word?
Yeah, well,
Sue Middlecote rang me the
oh
other
yeah,
night,
that's right, yeah.
and she says that Rich Daniels and another councillor, I can't think of his name now, have been trying to promote this, having it dropped to 40.
That's right, because we put in for it, go through the
And
road safety weekend.
she's gone and Googled it, and that road is deemed suitable to have it as low as 40.
Yeah.
We've got wild animals, haven't we?
Yeah, so, you know,
Yeah.
there is a campaign to have it lowered down to 40.
Well, I know that the Forestry Road Safety Liaison Group, long since, for a couple of years now, campaigned for 40-mile speed limit in the woodland area of the forest, in the central woodland area. So I guess this road's coming forward because of the accident rates along it. What they did say, sure, all I was last there, was that when Vernon Smith was on it by ways, it was only going to be visiting places where there were hot spots, and we didn't have the money to cover all areas. But I think you're right, Boss, we should push for 40 as a start to spread it out across the rest of the area. It's only that other week, the motorcycles were screwed up by the fancy.
That's
On the other road. So it's all in that area. When you're going through that area, if you're going through there crash, you must be off your blocker.
That's what I said.
Because there's either boar or deer going to jump out.
Yeah.
And oak trees don't move, and that's what you'll let, because you'll naturally swerve. And the amount of accidents me and you know of over the year on the Steel Mills Road where people have been killed, I'll come back to you, it's oak trees. And we all know that animals have disappeared by the time the emergency services get there, and they think, well, why not? Why do you hit an oak tree? Well, it's quite obvious. You swerve for either sheep, deer, or boar. Do you?
Well, this council isn't noted in the past and are very much in favour of the 40, but this is a start.
Yeah.
So I think that we should support this. The verderers, as you say, Rich Downs and others, the district council, it was Bruce Hogan originally took it many years ago, but until the county council accepted, at least they're proposing reducing it to 50. I mean, myself and a family member have had an accident in the last month, so the speeding in the roads is outrageous. However, it's a start. So I think if we could support this, but still back the 40 mile an hour campaign.
The motion,
then we should.
yeah, that's right. The motion that was put by Bruce from the district council went to the county council, and there was a scrutiny committee that was chaired by Sean Parsons, the former Cotswold councillor, and that scrutiny committee come up with an advisory speed limit of 40 mile an hour for the forest, and it was kicked into the long grass with Neville in route because it was an election coming up, and I guess it was deemed as being politically motivated, because obviously Bruce was Labour. And so it got kicked in the long grass. But what is annoying, in the late 90s, Cannock Chase, Dartmoor, and the New Forest all achieved speed limits in their areas because they got animals roaming.
That's right, yeah.
Dartmoor and New Forest is compulsory, Cannock Chase, I believe, is advisory. And all we ever asked for was an advisory speed limit. You know, the county, for whatever reason, wouldn't even do that. And we put it back again to Nathan Chown of Highways from the community safety, from the road safety liaison group, which I took back to the community safety partnership, remember that? And they support it, and Verder support it. So Roger is right, we should be trying for 40. But 50, I'd support 50, but I think we should make the comment, we really want 40. And we want 40 across the central forest, because animals are roaming. It's where they live. Oak trees don't move. And that's why you see little ribbons running with bunches of flowers park.
So this has been proposed and seconded, so should we just add an amendment to it?
Yes.
Just to say,
a friendly amendment.
we believe that
40 could
should be 40.
50 is good, but 40 will be better.
Yeah, that's right. All those in favour, please show. It's carried unanimous. You go set that code and try and persuade somebody this time. It's long overdue. Other areas of this country got it done in the 90s, late 90s. Okay, the next one is E, has to receive a resident correspondence on broadband issues affecting Newtown, Cinema, and discuss a way forward.
So there's a letter from a gentleman in the folder, and it's also been sent to the MP's office as well, and we're in contact with broadband providers, but just not making much progress.
Well, the last time we tackled it on Bradley Hill was through Phil Robinson, who was the former county councillor who lived up in Bigpool. Obviously Phil didn't stand this time, so I guess the remit lies in the cabinet of the county council with somebody. Somebody's the guru that looks over broadband and the rollout of it. And so it should go back to the county council if you can think of that. It's obviously what's happening in Newtown, Emma, they get it or
It's not going that
It's
side
not
of the
going
road.
that side of the road.
not side of the road, so anybody running a business ain't going to get broadband, and it's very good. We had a similar situation on Bradley Hill, on the side of the top side of Soonby, and that was rectified by Phil Robinson. We made a noise about it at Cherry Wall, so whether you two can do anything, they get the alcohol.
I'll send you a copy of correspondence
Yeah.
as well. If you've got anything.
Thanks for that, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with it, so in my other role. And Matt's
Chair?
in correspondence with people, so yeah.
I had a gentleman email me the other week, just and a couple of days before, that gentleman from Newtown sent the email, so I I forwarded that email to this gentleman.
Yeah,
I haven't had nothing back from him, so I think that answered his question.
yeah,
It was the same sort of question about,
yeah.
keep it clear and all that, but so.
Yeah.
So he hadn't returned anything, so he must have been happy with the reply I gave.
Yeah, I know in the last administration, Phil Robinson from the coaster, we did have the big pool, was the guru who covered that area where broadband rolled out. So he tackled Phil, actually took him down to Brian Cooks, the former printer at Bradley Hill, and it got resolved, so I guess it maybe get a resolve for the county, if, you know. Okay, item F then is to receive a quotation from Red Hand for CCTV camera and consider a way forward.
Yeah, so at the last meeting we discussed removing the existing camera which was there, which was a trial camera, and to have a 4K PTZ camera with credit card, power and wireless components. Cost is £1,431.28.
I was looking back through the previous CCTV fitting images, this seems a lot of money. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
It seems a lot of money, so I was going to email them asking for a breakdown of, because it just says fitting a camera. Why do we need SD card backup on camera, on a town centre CCTV camera? So I am not talking to Cindy Fest, but I was going to email them asking for a breakdown and ask why the price has risen so sharply, sadly and sharply. So I propose we defer this till next month.
Okay, is your what Mark proposed, or second?
I'll second that.
Number of graces,
Yeah, I think.
All those in favour, please show. That's carried. Reserves that Mark.
You be our IT guru, mate, you know it.
Sort them out, man. Because they'll stick anything into us. They think we be thick. But we ain't. G then is to receive the street trade-in consent to the 26th of May 2026. That's our market license, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to say anything else on that?
No, Forest Industry Council, what fund was it?
UK Prosperity.
Prosperity Fund, all the towns in the forest can look at freedom. No fee market operator license, so we're now a market operator again. We
For
can
1 year.
For 1 year, yeah. It's normally about 900 quid, was it? Yeah, it should be 900. So if you speak to anybody who wants to trade in the triangle, you're covered by our insurance, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They don't need a license for staff.
So if you can always remember that, promote that wherever you can.
If it's somebody, especially if it's a business which is something selling something which
Yeah.
if you don't want to put somebody in the triangle that's selling the same as a coffee shop over the road.
No.
But we can do it, drop a line.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Are we happy with that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the only way we can try and improve the footfall for sure. We need to do something. H then is to approve the appointment of Emma Walker to the committees. You know what committee it is this year, but whatever you want to go on it. So are you happy to approve Emma on those committees?
I've been looking. Where is it that it would be most useful for me to go? Does that make sense?
I would suggest her you attend the next sort of cycle and then see which ones you feel would be happy.
I've got a list of
Yeah.
them when they are.
Yeah. That would be the best thing, because then you get a feel of which you'd be happy with.
I don't really mind because I'm learning, so as long as I
If
can
you don't want to burn yourself too much, whatever you're going to flare for, it's all right, whatever you're going to flare for. Don't swamp yourself under it, it'll get too much, and you know. So, everyone happy with that, yeah? I don't hear any dissent. All those in favour, please show. They are, do whatever you want to do, whatever you like. Whatever you're good at. Item 10 is Steamers Recreation Trust, and that's to discuss the request from Rank Outsiders Football Club for replacement changing units.
Yeah, let's do this, but I will take over. So we've discussed this at the Estates and Finance Working Group and also at the Steamers Recreation Trust meeting. Registered Order asked us to fund a changing unit. The cost was 4k, and the committee discussed it in detail, and their recommendation to council is that we purchase it on the understanding that all internal and external works, maintenance and cost of utilities are funded by rank outsiders under the terms of the fully repaired and insured lease.
Mark?
I suppose we go for that.
It's been proposed, or seconder? Yep. Tim? Number of places there. All those in favour, please show. And that's carried, I think we went unanimously. Okay, thanks for that. At least it was sort of, get them somewhere to change and it's keeping people off the streets, and that's what we've got to do. B then is to approve a donation from general reserves to the Steamers Recreation Trust towards the cost of the replacement changing unit. So everyone happy to approve?
Yeah, I propose we do that.
Opposed, seconded by Doyle, all those in favour, please show. Again, that's carried. Thank you. Super. Item 11 is Cindy Fest 2025 event, which is becoming a big thing. And the first one is to A, approve the grant acceptance from the GCC Build Back Better Councillor Scheme.
So,
Happy to
yeah,
happy to receive it.
Yeah, cheers, Graham. Thank you, Graham, for signing that off before.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. They took it away from us, so they only Ray got it this next time, or Beers, they haven't got it yet. They may have it when they get to the next budget meeting, but yeah, they took it away. But we've done a lot of good with it, to be honest with you. It went from things like putting ceilings in Sudi Village Hall, lower the ceiling so it didn't sound like it was in an echo chamber. And then we lights for Sinnerford Football Club, repaired the school field, board damage and all sorts. Right down to all sorts of different things, candy, you name it, they had it. So yeah, very useful for struggling local groups. Okay, B is to receive the safety advisory group notes and approve the working group taking forward actions to meet compliance requirements. Who's that? That you done? Safety advisory.
No, we don't have a
Cindy Fest, is it? Oh, what's on the Cindy Fest? Yeah, right.
It's like something,
Is that all in there? Is that all right, Mark?
it was good, wasn't it? But we couldn't have done it with the help of that chap, CS.
Yeah, that's good people, I see the notes now.
Yes, well, we've got another 2 weeks, haven't we? But it's just general safety, anti-terror stuff, parking, traffic management, crowd management, noise management, licensing, insurance. I could go on.
Can I ask a question? Is there a list? The reason is, someone messaged me to say they wanted to put an event on. Where would they get the advice from? Would it be the district council they get the advice from? Because they want to put an event on in New Triangle.
Contact them first, or less.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because the dog house is their 10th anniversary in August. At the same day, the same weekend, the city first normally is, so they contacted me, but they've contacted them now.
Yeah,
So they're, but they've got to do all the paperwork that's after the road closure.
Yes.
Because the road closure thing now is
big.
It's really complicated. But we can point them direct, we all the documents, we can point them direction what to do.
I'll point them.
Point them direction, better more.
Thank you.
And C then is appointment of CSCM for security on road security staff. Yeah, that's what you just mentioned.
Yeah, I suppose we do. It's not going to be cheap, but they've. The calculations you've got to make for how many people per square metre, see counting people in and out, bag searches, they've come up with all sorts of things. So.
You second it, Jeremy? That's second. All those in favour? Sorry?
How much are they charging?
We don't know yet, but it's but they're going to bank search, so there's going to be an entrance and exit at Hayward Road, by the Fern Ticket, Commercial Street, the High Street below the Lion. They're going to have licensed marshals on each gate, licensed security on each gate. They're going to have clickers to count people in and count people out so we don't roadblocks and event. They've got all sorts of communicating and sort that out. There's going to be security at the front stage, security at the back stage, and security roaming around. So.
And the town council's paying for that.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, you've got to have it.
But the compliance
And
is.
today in Austria,
We've got away with over the years.
you've got, when the events get bigger, you've got to be
Yeah.
on top of it, aren't you?
Because if something goes wrong, it'll be us in court.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
proposed and seconded, all those in favour, please show. That's carried.
There's no options really, yeah.
No, you haven't. You would never forgive yourself.
No, that's true.
Item D then is to appointment of Axim as an event director and advisor.
I propose to do the same. It's that chap up in there today. They pointed to me first. Said, "Right, that's what you've done." And it's like, speak to him, and he reeled it off. Brilliant. He answered every question. He's been to the table around. I don't know if it's not going to cost, but it's a one-off event, and it'll be worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. Seconded there, all those in favour, please show. That's carried, thank you. Super. Yeah, as you guess, maybe we would have somebody with the knowledge, but they, especially in this day and age. E then is to approve the relevant documentation created by CSCM and Axim for submission to the Safety Advisory Group. Everyone happy?
Yeah, I propose to set that.
Seconded there, all those in favour, please show. Thank you. F then is the last one on that block, is to discuss a fundraising beverage proposal and agree a way forward. Mark, you know that?
Well, we're trying lots of different ways to raise a bit of extra money, the signs, etc., etc. So, a couple of years ago, we did City Fest cider.
Yeah.
So, 220 quid on more, updated, really, aimed at the EMF one-off thing to sell before the event.
Yeah.
Through our licensed retailers, just to make it'll just be an extra £100 we'll make. Well, I'm pretty sure we will. It's £220 is the cost.
Yeah.
And we'll probably make £100 on it.
Yeah.
But I do remember back in 2018, we introduced the same company, Sydney Fest cider logo, Sydney Fest logo on it, and they sold it as a souvenir thing. This year, with EMF, it's going to be a bigger seller.
That's right.
So
you'll have fans wanting to buy them for sure. Yeah.
Joy? I've got a few concerns about linking the town council with alcohol. I don't know whether it's just, I know it's a Cindy Fest beer, but I'm uncomfortable with it, not because it's a fundraiser, but I just feel, I don't know what the regulations are, but I am uncomfortable.
we're not selling it ourselves, because it's got to be sold like it was before through licensed retailers. We can't sell it at the event because there's no glass. We've done it before and it raised £100. We need the money. So, if we're going to go down that route, we've got the Lion, the Doghouse, the Soldiers, the gym bar, and a cider bar. We've got 5 bars in the town for that day.
That's right.
So we can't say we're against alcohol, but we'll invite these 5 people to set it in the town. So I'm just looking at extra ways to make money.
Yeah.
And people will buy it because of the event. It's a souvenir thing. I'm still and I know other people still got bought for 2018.
Yeah, we still got
Yeah, so.
Emma?
I just questions about the checks really. So I know that we're saying that they would be sold in licensed venues, but how do we make sure that everywhere that goes is licensed? How are those checks completed? And the actual person who makes the cider, how do we make sure that all of their checks are completed?
Well, it's Brewery Little Dean, and I think we've all been there for a drink. So I've been there and I've appointed in the past, so I'm happy with their cider.
Brewery time now.
But is there any responsibility?
They be a long established. They was a Dean originally, then they moved there.
Just
They sell it
Why
on
don't we just come to the town council then if it's not connected to the town council? That's all, I just didn't want to link us.
I think the reason being, before we just bought it, but because this year it's costed it's costing a lot more money, we just want to agree that.
What about you're on about the little plaques, aren't you?
Yeah, we've done I've sent JR some samples of that.
Oh right, yeah. Because I think they're quite well as well.
But the brewery, I'm small brewery, they started the Nag said, so it's just an established business.
Yeah.
So what's your wish?
Just the label, that's all.
Well, I haven't got on the agenda, I'm not going to propose it, so I'll agree on.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll
Is
second.
there a second? Roger, seconded, all those in favour, please show. And that, all those against, please show. Well, any abstentions? Well, that's carried. Okay, thank you for that.
Sorry, who proposed that?
Well, I don't know what you get. Who up goes? Jeremy. Jeremy second, sorry, second, yeah, Jeremy second. You have one against and no abstentions. Okay, so that covers that block then, and so item 12, year end 24-25, is to receive and discuss the auditor's report following a visit on the 27th of April. So obviously you're happy to receive the auditor's report, it's in your folder, I read it, it's quite a good report too, it's, Emma's done very well, so that's good. Are you happy with that?
Yep.
Right, the next one is B, has to receive and note the annual internal auditor's report for the financial year ending 31st of March 2025.
Yeah, so this is the year-end report.
Yeah.
That's in your folders, aren't
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. C then is to adopt the accounts for the financial year ending the 31st of March 2025.
It's in your folder as well.
It's in the folder, it's really important. Yeah.
That is-
So we propose we adopt that, proposed by Jeremy, seconded by Darren, all those in favour, please show. And that's carried, thank you. Okay, D. So that's to approve the governance statement for the financial year ending 31st of March.
Move we do.
It's been moved by Di, is there a seconder? Seconded by Carol, all those in favour, please show. It's carried. Thank you. And E then is to approve the annual accounting statement.
I propose we do.
Mark proposed, Jeremy second, all those in favour, please show. It's carried, thank you. F then is to note the dates of the exercise of the public rights, 16th of June until 28th of July 2025, whatever that is.
So this is the dates when the accounts can be seen by people.
Okay. Are we gonna, I just a note that, it's a note for notice, so are we happy to note that, yeah?
Yeah.
G is to appoint the internal auditor for 25-26.
So Bridget Byrne is our current internal auditor and she's willing to be our auditor for 25-26. She's provided prices and her CV.
It's been moved, Jeremy seconded.
Yeah.
All those in favour, please show. It's carried. Thank you for that. Through the page. Item 13 then is again finance. And A, to agree the accounts for payment as per list circulated per the meeting.
So
Are you happy to agree?
expenditure to be approved is £27,369.51, which is primarily the insurance for the council for the year.
Is there a
I
proposition?
propose we accept that.
Seconded by Darrell, all those in favour, please show. Carried, thank you. B is to note any urgent payments already made for ratification, including direct debit card payments.
So expenditure since our last meeting has been £51,808.53, including salaries, £14,000.
Okay, so that's for to receive that. So happy to receive that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, note it. We're noted, sorry. C then is to receive and discuss the financial reports on income and expenditure, income receipts, budget versus spend, earmark reserves, balance sheets, bank statements, budget review, earmark reserves, verdicts, bank reconciliation to the 31st of May 2023.
So there's a detailed pack in your folder. If there's any questions, I'll ask.
Any questions? Happy to receive it? It's in your folder. Thank you. D then is to receive the monthly internal control checklist and current RFO updates. So are you happy to receive that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, it's in your folder. E then is to approve changes to the fidelity insurance levels for 25-26.
Proposed,
It's been proposed by Mark, seconded by Jeremy. All those in favour, please show. Carried. Thank you. F is to receive the BCH reinstatement evaluations for Dockland Road.
So our insurers required an external visit because they hadn't seen it before. So luckily they went over after the NHS work's been done, so it's a positive report.
I didn't receive that. Yep. 14 then is a report stroke minutes, and that's to receive reports from the following. And the A, and that's not sure County Councillor, that's Piers and Ray, so it's over to you two. Any reports from the county?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, right.
Yeah, copies in the folder is.
Yeah.
Copy the folder. You want any questions? It's in your folder. Any questions from Ray or Piers? No, definitely silence.
No question, no, just, we did want to say sorry to start, Stuart Graham sends his apologies. The board's in now starting a constituency surgery from next month. So we'll guide, you can pass that from the social media as much as you can. Do you want me to go through the whole report, or is it just right?
I'd like to raise, you mentioned in your report about the domestic, because that's an area I'm really interested in. There's the just encouraging people to respond. They've got up to the 16th of June on the domestic abuse strategy.
Yeah.
And we did talk about it at the domestic abuse forum at the district council, but I just wanted to let you know and encourage as many people as possible to respond because it's such an important strategy.
I don't know if you're available this week, but we could have a chat about that. One is
Absolutely. Very much like to. Yeah.
Thank you.
One for the county councillors involved. There's a forthcoming road safety liaison group coming up. Say a minute. 18th. 8th. So you, all three of you, obviously invited there.
We were just invited today.
It's usually chaired by a county councillor, so it's that. We used to meet at Colford Fire Station, but the district suggested we meet at the Forest District Council because they can administer it better. And there's facilities there if anybody wants to join online, where you didn't have that at Colford Fire Station.
Yeah,
So keep it on your drivers for that 18. It's important to keep that going because nobody in the forest gets a spate of deaths and accidents. We've had it over the years. We did have a spate of young people back in, I forget the year now, but that's what prompted us to even ask for a speed limit at the forest in the early days. There was multiples of young people getting killed on forest roads all over the area. So it's Mike Webb, who was a then driving instructor from Parkhead, resurrected us, got us going again. Because the county pulled off their administrative cover. And Westdean Parish Council was good enough to use their clerk at the time, Dave Kent. And they kept it going for a couple of years. And then when they could no longer keep it going, thank the Lord, the district, under Damien Collins, they employed a clerk to administer it for us. So obviously, and then, so it's good. It's a good one to do, and hopefully we can keep it going. They used to have more of a Gloucester, but one by one they fell against the wayside. There was one in Shopman, one in Markley. But as the councillors died off or retired, the county pulled away the administrative of it and just had the partnership with Waterwell. And I just don't think it's that good because you don't get the grassroots what's happening.
And it is a good cross section, isn't it? It is
good cross section. You've got Forestry Commission coming, highways, police, fire. So you get a good cross section of people that we need in this area because of all the bodies obviously involved. And the forestry do come up with some handy figures of how many animals have been killed and whatever, so it's quite useful.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for that then. B then is District Council's report.
Sorry, I do apologise, there's no written report. I think that with Stuart, myself, Mark and Catherine Goodman's name.
Patrick.
We could, no, not Patrick.
Jacob.
Jacob. Sorry, this email moment. We ought to have taken in turns. But just to update on the district council, the priority at the moment is the local plan. That is the priority. There's a workshop for councillors. Councillors have to feed back where they would like to see additional houses by tomorrow. it would then go out to public consultation, because if the forest team don't identify where the additional houses will go, then obviously government will intervene. We need more houses, and if there's anyone has any suggestions where they'd like to see more houses in the Cinderford area, that we are restricted by statutory forest, please feed it back once the open consultation's out. We need houses in appropriate places, so that exercise is a priority, because we need a local plan. Because otherwise you get indiscriminate building of houses, because there's no current local plan, so a speculative developer can put in a plan anywhere and they're getting approved because we haven't got a plan. So we need to get a plan, but we need more homes. So that is an important one. So that's the priority at the district council at the moment. And also, just I did tell the county councillor, a member of the public keeps getting in touch with me about the roundabout down here, how unsafe it is, and it needs traffic lights. But there has been a response from Highways, and there haven't been that many incidents on it, so it isn't a priority. But I did say I'd raise it tonight.
We have raised it.
It's a concern.
So all we get back is the fact that it's astronomical costs of them.
Absolutely.
Of for what, 3-way, 4-way.
We can raise it again.
You can raise it again, but
And obviously, I do chair the Domestic Abuse Forum, and we have a very proactive forum in the Forest of Dean. It leads the way in the county, and I'm going to say that, I'm very proud of the fact that in the Forest of Dean, it's a very much a partnership forum where police, other organisations come together, share good practice to safeguard victims, be they male, female or children. So I just wanted to say that because we've got county councillors here, and I'm very proud of the fact that there's a very proactive response to domestic abuse in the Forest.
Awesome ideas as well.
Jeremy?
Yes, yeah.
As far as I'm aware, about 8% of the new housing that's being built is for people who don't actually live in the forest. It's for people that have been moved into the forest.
Yeah, you used to live in the forest and you moved into here.
Yeah, but we purchased a house that had already been built rather than a new
I
housing.
am not aware of that, Councillor. I don't know what evidence there is of that. All I know is that there is a shortage of houses. There's over 2,000 people of affordable housing. There's over 2,000 people on the waiting list. And there are many families in the Forest of Dean that are overcrowded, that are unable to move into suitable housing because there aren't houses available. And it is absolutely awful, the casework, because housing has always been, as a district council, an area of interest in me, and the number of families I come across that are living in really very difficult situations because there aren't enough houses. There aren't enough affordable homes, so we need them built sensitively, and we need them to be affordable. And when I say affordable housing, I mean social renting and low cost. We need that in the Forest of Dean, and we will keep fighting for it.
At least 40% of all new houses that are built, all new properties that are built, are affordable.
No, unfortunately, that isn't the case. That is the policy, that developers come back and have many reasons why they can't meet that 40% target. And I can assure you, most new builds do not have 40% affordable housing. And
Just
in fact,
a figure,
in the new, as you know, Councillor Jacob Sanders reported to this council, the new percentage for Cinderford was 10%. And as district councillors for Cinderford, we're fighting that because we do not feel that that's fair or equitable, because we're an area of deprivation. And we need 40% in Cinderford, and some of us will keep fighting.
Well, as you know, the Cinderford's in the statutory forest, or the biggest part of it is, so.
Exactly, it's very
The
good.
sites that we got is very limited. The only sites I can think of outside of the 2 Old Chestnut, which is Lister's factory, which had a housing permission for about 37 to 40 years. Just been sat on, 120 houses. And then Anglars, well, there's some movement in Anglars on the front side, but 2 derelict factories like American Rustart, they could do well with housing on. You don't want factories figuring in
We
the
just
town
need the
anymore.
government to change policy, so reference approvals have been given.
The only one I can think of is St White's Farm, and then obviously that's a skyline development, so you have to have suitable screening from the Vale. So it can be seen from places like Brookthorpe and wherever else along the river. Because, obviously they throw on skyline development. And the only one other one I can think of was the branch at Steve Mills, where they proposed everything at one time, but never ever went. So we're limited. Because you can't build in the forest, and neither would be wishing to anyway. So it's difficult for us, but the parts of the forest.
Get in touch with us very quickly, because it's a deadline for us to put little houses in an area, it's tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for that. See then is committee updates, and that's estates and playing fields, 3rd of June, and playing fields committee, the 3rd of June.
So minutes are in the folder.
It's in the folder, both minutes now. Anybody got any comments they want to make, any of that, or everyone happy? Okay. D then is trust minutes in the Forest Fitness Centre, 13th of May, and the Children's Playground Trust, 13th of May, and Steven's Recreation Trust, 13th of May. I guess they're all representing people. Everyone happy with that then? Okay. E then is GCC Highways, 20th of May, and that's in the folder. You see what we brought up with Andrew with Ray come along. We'll have those on a regular basis. Obviously, the county councillors meet with obviously Rusbridge as well, because they are in office across the way. And so we're very lucky to have Andrew and Steve come up and meet the highways managers from Canada and talk to them, whatever. If you've got a good relationship with them, you get things done within reason. I mean, they haven't got big budgets, but they've got a maintenance budget. If you get on with them all right, you can usually get them to do things for you. And the MP's meeting was on the 9th of May, and that's in the folder. There's obviously some of the hot topics we discussed there again with the factories, the 2 Old Chestnuts I just mentioned, and obviously the school, Forest High School, which is their education standard has been turned over. The place needs rebuilding. So that's another big priority for Cinderford, is to try and do something with the Forest High School. Because I know that one time it was mooted to move the kids to Whitecross and Lydney. But if you did that, the county would be in perpetuity burdened with the cost of running kids from Cinderford to Whitecross. Whereas parents wanted their children to go to Whitecross individually, they have to pay. But if you move to school, the county pays, and we can't see the county paying. So we do need something done with our secondary school. 15 is the plan applications, and there's only 2 I think in Emma. There's
So the first one is the installation of the Injun Veterans Memorial at the Silver Heart Arboretum.
Speeches.
I suppose we support that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second in a number of places, all in favour, please show. That's carried unanimously. Good memorial, good to do. One of our veterans, Ryan Mills, was a prisoner of war for 2 years upon the Yellow River, so they kept our freedom. How much longer we should have it? Listen to some of the news you hear of late, but there you go. So yeah, thanks for that. Good project, good to do. Second one is our pavilion at Steamers permission.
I propose we do whatever we can, but we are allowed to support it because it's our property, it's our plan application.
Yeah.
So are we allowed to pass on our own plan application?
Yes, we want support.
Support it.
Everyone happy to support?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem, that's good, thank you. Okay, 16 is policies and review the approval of the IT policy.
Yeah, so the new policy is in your folder and it's for approval, please.
So we need to have a look at this.
Move to approve.
No,
Go on, yeah.
yeah,
You're proposing,
yeah, proposed it, yeah.
okay, second as a seconder, Jeremy second, all those in favour, please show. Super, thank you for that. 17 is the date of next meeting, that's, I don't know what the date.
10th of June, but it's not that, it's July, so
Yeah. So it'll be average, it was usually the second Tuesday, always the second Tuesday in the month. So if you pencil that in your diaries, then obviously that's what it is. We always meet on the second Tuesday.
It's the 8th of July.
8th of July, is it? So it'll be the 8th of July then, if you make a note of that. It is the same night Ray as Westbridge, so we always to bounce around a bit. But they'll be starting earlier up here, I suppose you could do a chunk here, they start at 7 o'clock, either in the Memorial Hall or in Subi Village Hall. So yeah, so that's only it's a bit of a pain when you've got this two on the same night, but yeah, I've put ours another year, so I can help a little bit. Right, 18 then is the confidential items, and that's to resolve whether the public